All right, welcome back to the channel. So Terence Crawford, I hope, finally gets his wake-up call. Terence Crawford is denied the Manny Pacquiao fight, according to Bob Arum, and Spence is his only option for a big payday. That is out of the mouth of his own promoter. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So, I told you so. See, I like to do this when I tell you so, but I did tell you so, and so I'm going to tell you I told you so. Terence Crawford, when he beat Kell Brook, came out of the ring, and when he was asked who he wanted to fight next and what his next big move was, he said, Manny Pacquiao. Bob Arum said, we're going to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, right? They were trying to act like Errol Spence Jr. is the second option, Manny Pacquiao was the first option. When I heard them say that, the first thing that I said is, you are cap. I swear I'm going to get cap right. You're cap. You're capping. You're not telling the truth. Neither one of you believe that. It makes no sense. Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight Terence Crawford. Why would he fight Terence Crawford? If Manny Pacquiao was going to fight Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao would have fought Terence Crawford when Manny Pacquiao was closer to his prime and in the same promotional company as Terence Crawford, that being Top Rank. If he was going to fight him, he was going to fight him then. For Manny Pacquiao to pick Terence Crawford from the available list of opportunities for him would be ridiculous. Terence Crawford will beat Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion. And in the opinion of Manny Pacquiao and his trainer, there is at least a 40% chance that Terence Crawford will beat Manny Pacquiao. That should be the case with anybody that is a Manny Pacquiao fan. If you are truly a Manny Pacquiao fan and truly are watching what's going on with him and you watch what's going on with Terence Crawford, you will see that at best, there is a 40% chance that Manny Pacquiao can pull that fight out. And I'm thinking 40% is a huge exaggeration. I don't think he got a snowball's chance in hell, in my personal opinion, because of the style of the fight. But I'll leave that alone and just tell you that I told you the fight wasn't going to happen. So you can say, well, for now I know he can beat him, whatever. I could be wrong about that. But I was not wrong because about what Bob Arum said on Barbershop Conversations. Shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. He has really great interviews that he does, towards the midnight time frames. But very good channel. On that interview with Bob Arum, Bob Arum tells Fred, hey man, the Manny Pacquiao fight is not there for Errol. The Manny Pacquiao fight is not there for Terence because Manny Pacquiao has chosen to go fight Conor McGregor. Now, this is Bob Arum we're talking about, so you can't just take the statement in and of itself and think it's true, right? You can't, because Bob be telling stories. So you just look at it and you say, or at least this is what I did, I was like, okay, what part of this makes sense? Okay, because some of this is going to be true. Some of it. Some of it ain't. So, but let's just look at it. He says Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight Errol. Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight Terence because Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Conor McGregor. First part, that's not true. Manny Pacquiao fighting Conor McGregor. That is not true. That has not been set up. I don't believe it's going to happen. There's no reason for anybody to believe it's going to happen. That's really not a very serious conversation going on for the senator of the Philippines. I do not believe he's going to get out there and beat up Conor McGregor. Just don't believe he's going to do it. I don't believe Conor McGregor is going to do the fight. So, and definitely don't believe that it's close enough to be made where Manny Pacquiao won't fight either Errol or Terence. So throw that Conor McGregor stuff out. May be true, but throw it out. Because Bob doesn't know that, okay? Because even though you may think it's true, you can also know for sure. How would Bob Arum know that? What do you think Manny Pacquiao is coming and going to have confidential conversations with Bob Arum about who he's fighting next and whether or not he's fighting Conor McGregor? No. This is the same type of inside information that he got when somebody told him that Errol Spence Jr. was never going to be the same and never come up out of that car accident. That's the same thing Bob said then. Bob was lying then, lying now about Errol because there's no way that he knows that. He does not know for Errol Spence if Errol Spence Jr. is talking to Manny Pacquiao. He doesn't know that. He's just saying that, right? So you brush that aside because he doesn't know it. What does he know? What does he have firsthand contact with? Whether or not Terence Crawford is going to get that Manny Pacquiao fight, because Terence Crawford works for Bob Arum. He doesn't think he works for Bob Arum. He works for Bob Arum. And Bob Arum would be able to talk on his behalf to Manny Pacquiao. So if that fight is not going to happen, if Manny Pacquiao, Terence Crawford is not going to happen, Bob says that's not going to happen. That's something at least that he knows about, and it makes sense because Manny ain't fight him before, and Bob blocked the fight before, right? So whatever the case is, only thing I believe about that statement that I know that I trust that I could take Bob Arum's word on is the fact that Terence Crawford is not getting that fight. I can't speak for Errol Spence Jr. I dang sure can't speak. He can't speak for Errol Spence Jr., and he can't speak for Conor McGregor. So, is that Errol's only option? Who knows? But no, it's not Errol's only option because he's got Sean Porter. He can do a rematch on pay-per-view that did 350,000 pay-per-view the last time he did it, and it'll do more now. So, no, Terence Crawford is not Errol's only option, right? Not his only option for big money because he just got big money last time. Now, Bob is admitting it in the same conversation that Errol's getting big money because he's saying, oh, there's no way that you can get big money. Oh, but you're getting paid money and these guys in the PBC must be broke. Dude, which is it, Bob? Either they're not getting paid big money, right? And you're saying that they are because you're thinking that they're going to go broke with these pay-per-views. If they're going broke with the pay-per-views, they have to going broke because of the money that they spent. So you're telling me the fighters are making money. At least that's my conclusion from it. So if the fighters are making money on these big pay-per-views for Errol Spence Jr., truthfully, what difference does it make if Al Heyman is losing money if he's making the money, right? You think Bob Arum cares if ESPN is pulling a profit, if he's pulling a profit from ESPN? No. See, this is all a bunch of yap. And the only real true thing that we know is that Errol has other options, Manny has other options, and now he's saying, now this is something else Bob ain't telling the truth about. When Bob says that Terence Crawford don't have any other options, other big money options. That's not true, Bob. That's not true. Bob's got Terence Crawford has Jose Ramirez, who's a top-ranked fighter. He has Josh Taylor, who's a top-ranked fighter. He's got Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez, because he's already a 140-pounder, he'll be up at 147. If he just wants to wait for Teofimo Lopez is going to be at 147. You could be selling all these fights for Bud. You've got at least two guys in a weight class before that are unified champions that can move up and fight Bud. No, Bob, you have fights for Bud. You just don't want to give it to him because he's going to beat those guys, and that's not what Bob Arum wants. So even the fact that Bob Arum is saying that Terence Crawford doesn't have any more big money options, that is just telling on Bob Arum. He's just telling on himself because you have the fights. You just don't want to give it to him. Just like Devin Haney, who everybody says ain't fought nobody, he's an email champ. He put himself in position to get a world-class top-level fight. And what did they do? Bob Arum and the WBC stole it from him and gave it to gave Lomachenko the franchise belt and then gave him to Teofimo Lopez instead of letting a Devin get a shot at him. So how do you know? You don't know that Devin wouldn't have done the same thing to Lomachenko that Teofimo Lopez did, but in a different way, right? He could have done the same thing and he'd be in the same place, except for he'd have all four belts. What's the difference? The difference is that Bob Arum gave Teofimo Lopez the shot and he didn't allow Devin Haney to have the shot, right? Same way Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo allow Callum Smith to have the shot, but he doesn't let Jamal Charlo have the shot. It's just the same. It's just the same thing. It's the same thing. And Terence Crawford's not getting those shots with the top-ranked fighters that he could put great fights with that would be very interesting to people that he would win. But that's not in the game plan for Top Rank, so Bud's not getting it. So what does Bud got to do? Bud and Top Rank got to blame Errol Spence Jr. for not bowing down to 50% when Bob Arum is getting a big cut of that 50% that he's saying he's asking for. Man, get out of here. Terence Crawford needs to take that 40%, needs to either just fight these contracts out, say what he's doing. I'm going to fight these next 2 fights on my contract and I'm gone, and then I'm going to go get Errol Spence and Sean Porter and these guys so I can get out of my contract because these guys aren't going to give me the fight, and I'm going to go get the fight when I get out. But that's not what Bud is doing. Bud is acting like it's everybody else's fault. Everybody's ducking him and everybody's crazy and making stuff up. And it's just not the case. People just ain't blind. You were never going to get that Manny Pacquiao fight, so even talking about it made me feel like dude was cap. Made me feel like the dude wasn't telling the truth because I know you're not getting that fight. You're smirking and stuff. You know you're not getting that fight. What's the game here, man? Who are you going to fight? Are you going to, even with the Sean Porter thing, yeah, I'm willing to fight Sean Porter. Yeah, you're willing to fight him as a mandatory. You're not willing just to enter into a negotiation where you guys can negotiate to a fair purse, right? It ain't, but oh no, we're not talking about me being fair. You know, I only care about fairness when it's people being fair to me. I don't care about fairness when it's somebody's asking me to be fair to them. But you know, what do you expect when you work with Bob Arum for that many years? When you work with Bob Arum and you work with cats like that are over there snaking, acting like snakes, eventually you learn how to hiss like a snake and you begin weaseling your way around stuff. Errol Spence Jr. ain't stupid. He ain't giving you 50% of nothing unless you earn it. 60-40 is fair, and he's your only real option because Bob Arum doesn't have your back, not because of any other reason. Jose Ramirez is a great option to say, nah, I don't want Errol. I'm fighting Jose Ramirez if Errol ain't right. But you know what? Terence can't say that, can he? Terence can't rely on a fight with Josh Taylor, can he? Ain't never going to get no fight with Josecito Lopez, with Teofimo Lopez, even though Teofimo Lopez started at the same weight as Terence Crawford and is going to end up at the same weight as Terence Crawford. But no. Those little gems are not for Terence Crawford to beat up. Those little gems are to fight each other. And, you know, Terence Crawford, you're not included. Get out, Terence. That's what I see happening. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know yours. And with that, I'm out. Peace.